Hey guys, join me as I build a Chris Morejohn Beryllium skiff from scratch.
Hey y'all, what's up? My name is Smith, and to be honest, I've never built a boat before. I've never even filmed myself before. But we're about to have a little YouTube experience, and you can kind of see what I'm up to here. Let me flip this camera around. How do you even do that? All right, guys, welcome to the boat building shed slash tent slash carport. So I kind of went ahead and started building the strongback. There's stuff everywhere, just ignore that. But I went ahead and started doing this before I decided to do a YouTube channel about building a skiff. But yeah, it's kind of a tight quarters, hung some lights in here. This is going to be real tight working, but I wanted to just kind of walk y'all through this. So this is a strong back. This is going to support the jig for the boat. Still not completely done. I got to cut the jig parts out and all that. But I essentially laid this out and followed the plans by Chris Morejohn. His Beryllium plans, actually. If you look at his plans, you can pretty much see, exactly how to build a jig, and I just followed his directions exactly, or not directions, but dimensions, and that's kind of what you see here. The big ones, the big things you want to get right are these cross member supports here. You want those things to be totally level. And then you also want these vertical supports to be totally upright, and also evenly spaced. I used all that, or I was able to do all this with a laser level that you see right there. So pretty much laid it all out, screwed it all together, followed the plans. Still got a little bit more work to do, but I'm gonna go ahead and probably start cutting out my jig stations. And also, pardon me if I get all of this terminology incorrect. This is my first time, but we're going to go for it. Okay, guys, what we have here is a 4x8 sheet of MDF. You can see here I've got them all stacked up. All my H80 high density foam. All of this in theory will come together to form a 18.5 Beryllium skiff by Chris Morejohn. So I shopped around a bunch of local CNC places, and their prices are just crazy expensive. I think the best price I could find that included the MDF was like $1,400 cut out. But I was able to take all of the plans, the CNC plans that they sent that I bought, and then I was able to bring that down into PDFs, and I was actually able to cut all of these plans out. So on, I think, 30-inch by 98-inch paper, I just went to a blueprint architectural place that prints out blueprints, and they were able to cut all these things out to scale for me. So essentially what I'm going to do is just lay out 2 sheets, which I'll show you, and then cut along the line. It should be pretty much exact. All the dimensions check out. So we're going to use a jigsaw. I got a bunch of jigsaw blades on the ready. It's going to be a real pain, but here we go. Okay, y'all, if you're doing it this way, my advice would be to tape these two together. Line all of your lines up. You can see mine are not perfectly lined up yet, but I'm about to tape them together. And then once they're all taped together, I'm gonna tape one side down, roll it all back, spray a contact adhesive down so that these sheets don't slip around on the board. And then once they're all nice and glued down, then I'll start jigsaw cutting. Y'all, anybody that knows me knows that I have some bad luck. Of course, when I laid all this stuff out, it just about starts raining. So I had to roll it all up real fast and get it inside the garage. Here we go. Line these edges up. You gotta be real careful to get everything pretty much perfectly exact. All the forms are laid out. And I measured everything with a measuring tape, and everything is perfectly to scale and matches the plan designs perfectly. So here we go. I'm about ready to start cutting. 50 gallons of poly resin coming up later. I got these high carbon steel jigsaw blades for fine wood or fine finish for wood. A couple packs of those should get us through it. And then to stick it all down, some 3M Super 77. This stuff is pretty sticky, I think. So this paper might be stuck to this MDF for forever, but that's all right because it's going to be kind of a throwaway situation anyway. So I've essentially got it all taped down on one side. This way I'm going to flip it over, kind of roll this over like this, spray my adhesive down, and then roll that side back over. And then I'll do the same thing vice versa on the other side. And it should result in a fully contacted, stuck down plan on MDF. Y'all, do yourself a favor and wear a mask. This stuff is lit. All right, guys, got all my plans down, glued to the 3/4 inch MDF. Getting ready to start jigsawing. I'm gonna cut all of these out and then go start laying all the stations up and the parts onto the strongback. So I already cut one sheet already, and we got about 7 more to go. It's gonna take a while. I highly recommend CNC if you got a buddy with one. But if you don't, then jigsaw it is. All right, here we are, finally starting to take shape. Looks like I'm gonna have to cut some of those vertical stabilizers off so that the stations are clear. Just wanted to give y'all a quick look. Pretty sweet, coming along. Got to get my flanges on and continue bringing the parts over. Good God, that was a lot of jigsawing. I'm telling you, you really need to get yourself a CNC or get somebody you know to cut these things out on a CNC for you. That was a lot. That was a lot. And I'm still not sure that all of these individual gaps for the keel are gonna fit, but they do line up good. So probably gonna require some finagling, but we're getting there.
You did. You crazy son of a bitch, you did.
Holy hell. This thing is a pain in the ass, but I feel like I've got it pretty much good to go now. This rounded transom section is a little tricky, but overall, it's actually lining up pretty good. I lasered it so it's perfectly straight. Everything seems to be fitting all right. This is just a loose board, just ignore that. I had to put on these shear flanges But yeah, it's looking good. Pretty good. Yeah, there's shit everywhere. So just ignore that. So it's a bit of a construction zone. All right, guys, that pretty much wraps up this first episode. First time ever filming myself doing a YouTube. I actually don't even have a YouTube account yet. I'm about to sign up for one. We'll see what happens. So if you like this video, definitely subscribe. Let me know what you think. Constructive criticism, any of that kind of stuff. For the most part, though, I mean, I think it went pretty well. I'm gonna finish putting the shear flanges on, and then after that, we're about to start ripping up some high density PVC foam, and then we'll start planking the hull and get it ready for laying up. It's gonna be fun, a lot of sanding, but I'm still pretty into it. It's gonna be awesome. All right, cheers, dudes.